Thanks for joining us in the garden today. We are here with Jordan. We are talking about houseplants this time of the year. A good time to maybe focus some of your attention and energy on those. A lot of people not outside this time of the year, so really focusing on getting your houseplants taken care of. We have a few in front of us right now. What do people need to know about taking care of those houseplants? What should they be doing in the cooler winter months?
Like you said, this is a great time to analyze your houseplants. I know for me, once I get all the Christmas greenery out, I am thinking, oh, the house looks so much less green. I'm also remembering of, oh, I have this giant monstera in the office that hasn't been touched for months. This is a good time to take a look at all your plants and see who needs what, especially when it comes to root room. A lot of your house plants should be treated individually. Some plants like this ficus are going to want to get super tall, and if they're still in the pot that came in, they probably need to stretch out their roots. Other plants like these ferns or these aglaonemas, they're probably fine, and maybe we want to pull them out, do some rough root trimming, keep them in the same pot for a little bit longer. Good rule of thumb is to know your plant and what it's eventually going to get to, so you can anticipate that when it comes to pot size.
So what should people be looking for specifically when it comes to the roots, or maybe how do they tell that the plant, he's outgrown his home, he needs to find a new pot?
Sure. Some plants, like snake plants, are notorious for telling you to the point where they will break their own pot to do so. Other plants, the easiest way is to gently take out the root ball, and we're looking for, is it completely full of roots? Is there a lot of new roots? Is there old roots? This little fern is actually having a few legs coming out. That's fine, that's normal for it. Given the opportunity, those would either grow on the surface, or if we put this in a bigger pot, would fill up the space.
So if people see those, should they be moving their plants to bigger pots, or are they okay for now?
You know, a plant like this, I'd probably be 50-50. If you wanted to wait till summer and do it then, sure. But if you had the time to do it now, probably a good time for it. I know as a gardener in spring, I am just completely caught up in everything outside. My plants don't get another look until end of summer into fall.
So when it comes to houseplants, because I had a succulent once upon a time, didn't survive, so I know nothing about houseplants. So how many times a year should people be looking at their plants, maybe reevaluating whether or not they need to go into a different pot? How do they know it's time?
A couple times a year is a really good way to go through all your houseplants, maybe do a little bit then, a little bit later. Doing this when we take them out and get a good look-see is also going to tell you the overall health of the plant. We can take a look for bugs, take a look for any kind of fungal issues, stuff that might be going on. If your soil has a really gritty, slimy texture to it, that's a good indication that we need to take all that out. And as a good rule of thumb too, when we're considering, oh, I want to up pot this, I try not to go more than 25 to 50% larger pot. If you are in love with this giant antique urn or something that your great, Aunt Mildred passed on to you, go ahead, put that pot in there, fill it up later when the plant gets full. Because a big killer of houseplants is taking something little like this and throwing it in a 20-gallon pot. It's way too much soil for that little root ball.
And when it comes to things like bugs inside of houseplants, are there any things that people should be concerned about? Are there any little critters that you definitely don't want to see?
No one's going to have sterile houseplants. Bugs happen, especially if we're bringing our houseplants in and out. But if what you're looking for are the worst infestations that you need to knock down, you might see scale on the underside of your leaves. You might see mealybugs. Not a reason to panic. Treat them as you see them. You might need to quarantine plants for a little bit, but it happens. Doing this regularly is what's going to help you keep those infestations down. So
what are some of the products that people might need for their houseplants right now if they were to maybe take a look at them these winter months? What are they going to need from Grange Co-op?
First thing I would look at is just, if we're going to replant, we're going to need more soil. We just need more volume. And try to get soil based on what your plant likes. Do we want more coarse stuff? Do we want more fine soils? If it comes to a bug issue, get the particular insecticide or pesticide that works best for that particular bug. I'm not of the habit of just spraying anything and everything twice a year. I think that's unnecessary and maybe not the best healthy practice. Another thing to be mindful of, if you have a giant plant and you do absolutely need the room to plant it, you are much better spreading out a tarp noose in your living room. Don't take these outside while it's 30 degrees. They will not be happy.
Okay, yeah, no, I can tell you that from firsthand experience with the succulent, they will not be happy. So, okay, well, thanks for being with us today. And thanks for joining us in the garden. If you want to learn more about how to replant and take care of some of your indoor houseplants, you can head to our website, KDRV.com, and we'll see you next time in the garden.